Oh my God, welcome!
Hey,
Welcome
Todd.
to the
Hey,
show!
Todd. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Ayelet
Hey, Todd.
Natan,
Hey, everyone.
the legendary.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. How are you?
Wonderful today. Wonderful today. I
Good.
really want to get to the audience. I want to give everything to the audience today. Today's all about the audience.
All
Okay?
about the audience.
Comcast 21, YouTube, probably Facebook, and all the social media that you're going to be sending it out to. It's going to be
All
going
of
out
them.
everywhere. This is going to be amazing. And what are we talking about today?
We are talking about embodiment.
Mm-hmm.
And my specialty, LGBTQ Embodiment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, or a field called Queerbodiment.
What is
A
that?
really, really cool title called Queerbodiment.
It's cool? What makes it cool?
Because it's pretty new, and it's revolutionary, and it's helping a lot of people. And it's got a cool name.
Is it for everyone?
It's for LGBTQ people, but embodiment is for everyone. So
Embodiment
let's
itself,
try. Yeah. Let's try to take it apart, okay? And we can talk about embodiment to begin with, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I imagine you want to know what embodiment is, because it's a word that is not known for everyone. It's embodiment is the whole field of bodywork therapies. Okay, so it's a field in therapy that has everything to do with bodywork, with working with and through our bodies in order to heal ourselves. This is embodiment.
Self-healing.
And self-healing through the body and understanding the importance of the body in self-healing, okay? And it's a very vast field of very different techniques and therapies, starting from body psychotherapy, which I studied, and yoga, and on the movement, conscious movement therapies, and a lot of projective tools like focusing and other stuff, everything that has to do with working with and through the body.
Right.
Everything is embodiment.
Yes, because nowadays people are on their devices all the time and they're not in their body. They're sort of in their cortex,
Exactly.
their frontal cortex or whatever they're going on there.
Exactly.
And they're not in their reptilian brain or their whatever else.
Yeah, everything. Also, our cognitive brain is a bodily experience. So embodiment means basically that our human existence is of a body. Okay, our existence, our experience of this world and of us in this world and in our inner world. Okay, they come through and with the body. Okay, our experience in this world is first and foremost only bodily. Like a baby just born, its experience is only bodily, not even cognitive. So pre-cognitive experience, and this experience, although we develop cognitive abilities during our life, this experience of the world still leads us through life. Okay. So in other ways, in other words, our body is talking us. It is talking who I am. My body is who I am. Okay.
Talking to us. It's sending us signals all the time.
It is talking us. It is talking ourselves to us and to others. Okay. Our body is talking ourselves to us.
It's communicating. It's communicating.
Others.
Yeah.
More than 90% of communication, of human communication, in fact, is not verbal. It is body language and energy, and body language means body expression means a lot of things. This is embodiment. We express ourselves in this world and the outer and the inner, the external and the inner, through and with our bodies. Okay? Mm-hmm. And in fact, all the layers, we have many layers of existence. We have the body, we have the mind, we have the energy, we have the spirit, we have high consciousness, okay? So embodiment says all these layers, first of all, they are not on top of each other, they are they come together, they intertwined, and they express themselves through our bodily experience as human beings.
Interesting.
And the body is the gate to all the other levels, because all of them sit in the body. So we want to get to know ourselves in the ways that the body speaks to us and to others.
Yeah.
This is embodiment. And the interesting thing about embodiment is that these languages in which our body talks to us and us to others are not verbal. They are not verbal languages. Our body talks through the senses, through sensing the outer world and the inner world, external and inner sensations, all the sixth sense, also intuition.
The third eye?
Yeah. And the language that helps us most understand the body is symbolism. In embodiment field, we use a lot of symbolism because it's the subconscious symbols of who I am. And they speak through the body, and it's easy to make a bridge between the body and the mind. The mind is like the head center, which wants to understand these languages, to translate them into words.
And just for the audience, just anyone who's watching right now, what Ayelet is talking about, basically, I know, just to put it in a nutshell, just for the audience to make sure they understand, is that everything goes through the body, whether it's the mind or whatever, your heart, however, your lungs, everything is going through the body, right? And this is your experience. So this is the instrument, this is the tool that is helping us, and it helps us, it communicates to us, and we need to understand these messages. Is that correct? Because sometimes there can be even traumas that are captured and trapped and stuck in the body, right?
Exactly. Not sometimes. Again, every time sits in the body.
Yeah,
all our thoughts, our mind,
in the mind, especially,
all our patterns, all our memories, all our imagination, and our plans to the future. The who I am personally, it sits in the body. All our emotions, they sit in the body, and they come out through the body.
Right.
All our traumas, all our past, all our ancestral past. There's an intergenerational knowledge that sits in my body. I carry in my body all the lineage of women and Jews and LGBTQ people and humankind.
Yes.
And other things and other identities that I am, like in the identities. So everything sits in the body. Everything sits in the body, and the body remembers. The body doesn't forget like the mind. So everything stays in the body. So if we want to work with our psyche, with our mind, with our emotions, if we want to work on it, then we want to work on them through the body, and also our relationships. So we want to do body work in order to heal ourselves, to get to know ourselves. And eventually we want to get to a point where the body, my body is my home.
Your home. Your home. Your body is your home.
Yeah, we say coming back to my body. Embodiment means coming back to my body, coming home to my body.
Okay.
Good. Because my body is the home of me. And we want it to be a good one. We want to make peace. We want to heal the traumas.
Right. So what we're saying to the audience is, your body is your home. So treat it well. Treat it well.
Not only treat it well, listen to it. Talk to it. Listen to what it says about you. Use it in order to transform, to become better, to heal. Use your body to heal. Make it a home and use it to heal.
How does a person do that?
So we use really a big variety of methods and tools in order to, again, translate exercises that translate the messages and give messages back. Okay? So projective tools, because we work a lot with the symbolism, movement. I love movement as a tool of expression.
Move around a little bit.
And talking to myself. And any other kind of work with the body.
Talking to yourself in the mirror?
Talking to yourself.
Anytime. Anytime.
And you can do that in front of the mirror. If you're working on for example,
self-counseling.
Yeah. It's all self-counseling.
Counseling, not canceling.
We want to be self-resourced. I call it self-resource. We want to be self-resource, and the body is an amazing tool for self-resource because it's
self-sufficient as well. Sorry.
Yeah. Self-resource, to make my body a safe space for myself in this world. And we can do an example if you want, like a short session, short exercise.
Yeah, let's try.
Okay, together.
Sure.
Yeah. So I try to give it to you once, and we can try to do it again. And whatever comes up, so you can either say it out loud and we work with it, or you can keep it to yourself.
Okay. I'm ready.
So maybe the first thing that I do with people is making home inside the body, connecting to the body and make it feel safe. Okay. So there's a technique. It comes originally from focusing, but I use it a lot. It's called safe space, a safe space or a safe place. Okay. So I invite you to either close your eyes or keep them open. And again, you can either say express the experience, or you can keep it to yourself and just take the journey. So try to put your legs on the floor. Legs on the floor. Okay. And the body knows where your hands want to rest. You can try to get to a point where I call it the sitting is sitting yourself. You put not so much effort on holding yourself sitting. And you can start by connecting to your breath. Just try to observe your breath going in and out. You can observe if it's going in and out through your mouth or through your nose. What does your body want to do? You can try to observe if your breath goes all the way to the stomach or to the lungs or to the diaphragm or to your throat or somewhere else. You can try to feel your breath, how it touches the boundaries of your lungs. You can, if you want to put your hand on your chest to feel your breath. So now, can you go on? Do we have time to go on?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, do we have time?
Of course we do.
Okay, so you can close your eyes. No, I mean with the exercise. With
the exercise. I thought you meant the show. I mean, people are gonna be watching this. I don't want them to be bored to tears. Come on, we got a show to do. Okay. We got a show to do.
Okay, so that's a little example. Just a little concentration and acknowledgement of what's going on inside the body.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nothing came up, by the way.
Last time you did, and it was short. I have to quickly get my computer cord.
Go for it.
Don't go anywhere.
Okay, I'll pause it. Here we go.
Yeah. So that was a very, very short exercise. So anything that has to do with putting attention inside the body and trying to understand what it speaks back in different ways.
I had a very good experience just like this with my friend Eddie yesterday, and we did a meditation together, and a lot of stuff came up, and I went through everything. It wasn't recorded, which is great, and and we went through everything, and it was very good, and it was perfect. That's probably why nothing is coming up to my mind now. I'm just content. If that is that possible, to be like reaching contentment?
It just means, first of all, of course. Second of all, it means that still nothing came up. You were just with a bodily experience. Not always things come up.
I thought about my website, but it wasn't strong. It was just like, well, I could talk about the website, but that's bad.
Okay, we can. It's okay. We can do a lot of things together.
Great.
Yeah.
Do you like the guitar in the mirror? I like the guitar. Yeah, you could actually see the.
I love the guitar, and I love this one as well.
And this one too. And then there's another one here, but
yeah, right. Is that a bass or?
That's a bass. That's the bass that went all over the world.
Nice. Also, that's the bass I met in Hanoi.
Correct.
Yes. Yeah, we last saw each other in Hanoi about
exactly.
A year
We should tell
ago.
the audience, how did we meet? What's the venue? And all that great stuff.
You can talk about the venue.
The venue, yeah.
The venue.
Yes, the venue. I think it's one of the best club in Hanoi. It's the best.
Hanoi, yeah. We met in Hanoi about a year ago. We were both traveling.
Exactly.
Yeah. And we became friends. It's so wonderful.
And now look how well we're doing.
We're doing fine.
1 year later.
1 year later. We're doing so much finer. Can you say that?
Yeah. I think I wouldn't stop you from saying that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. What else do you want to talk about? What else should we talk about?
So let's talk about what is LGBTQ queer embodiment. Now, obviously, okay, people who know me, I'm not a gay person, but I have a lot of friends that are gay,
Yeah. So, and thank you for the opportunity, although you are not gay, but we say all humankind is queer, in a matter of fact, but we like straight people as well.
Thank you.
We love you.
We keep the world going, actually. I mean, you keep the world going too by raising our children. But
we make children too. Each and every one of humankind is making it work. Definitely.
Doing their part.
So definitely, everyone is doing their part. Everyone is doing their part. So what is LGBTQ embodiment? Okay, so embodiment is our human experience, bodily human experience of the world. Okay, and since we all have a body, then in many ways your embodiment and my embodiment will be the same in some aspects. Okay? But in other aspects, your embodiment and my embodiment will be different because embodiment is both personal and universal, but also cultural. Okay? So there will be differences in embodiment in different cultures in the world. For example, men and women. Embodiment of men and women is not the same in some aspects. Embodiment of Israelis and Americans is not the same in some aspects. In universal aspects, it is the same, and in some aspects, it is unique. Okay? There is a Black embodiment. There is embodiment of countries. There is embodiment of types of work.
And
An
art.
embodiment of someone who's working in an office will be different than an embodiment of someone working outside, for example.
Or with instruments. A different.
Or with, yes, exactly. There's an embodiment of a musician, of musicians.
And art.
Definitely. So, in other words, embodiment is life, and there's embodiment for different fields of life. Okay? And just the same, there will be a difference in embodiment of LGBTQ folks, between the embodiment of LGBTQ folks and straight people's embodiment. Again, some of our embodiment will be universal. Some of our embodiment will be different because we are from different cultures or different types of communities or types of people, okay? And also it will, of course, be different personally. So inside the LGBTQ community, there's also different embodiment. For example, an embodiment of a gay guy would be different than an embodiment of a lesbian woman, and a trans and a non-binary and so on, okay? But there are some themes that are unique to all LGBTQ people in embodiment. Themes that deal with the embodiment of a closet, the embodiment of gender identities, the embodiment of sexual orientation, the embodiment of the shame and blame of our specific oppression. So, for example, an embodiment of oppression can be similar to an embodiment of Black oppression, for example, but different as well, LGBTQ and Black, okay? Understood?
Absolutely.
So there are things in embodiment that are semi-universal to all LGBTQ people, and this is the embodiment of LGBTQ. And it's called, we call it in a really, really cool name, Queerbodiment, queer embodiment. Queer as a umbrella term to all LGBTQ.
Okay. I'm just writing something down for myself because even though you're talking about queer embodiment, for me, I'm thinking about artist embodiment.
Yeah, which is cool, and we can have a conversation about that.
Exactly, because I just made some notes just so that I have it for later when we talk about it.
Yeah.
And it's about the closet, about a closet.
Yeah, we talked about.
There was a closet that I was.
We talked about it. We talked about it, and it's a really good thing you brought it up, because when I want to explain my unique embodiment to someone else who is not me or not from my culture, okay,
Sure.
I try to put you in my shoes, right, in my bodily experience.
Right, but does that actually work? Is that possible?
It works, because the beautiful thing about embodiment is that it can make the bridge by using the universal experience of the unique experience. For example, I have a very strong embodiment of a closet because I have experienced a closet in a very high intensity, okay? But other people outside the community also have the embodied experience of a closet. For example, you were talking about it as the musician closet.
Musician and artist in my family. To be an artist in my family was, forget it. I should have been gay. If I was gay, they would have accepted me easier.
So it's very, very similar. So it's very similar.
That's why I have so many gay friends that I can relate to,
Exactly, because you can relate not only to what they think about, what you both,
how they feel, how they body, how it made them want to kill themselves because they wouldn't accept themselves, because they turned everything that other people were saying and they took it on themselves.
Yes. Very similar to what
they embodied what other people were saying about them, to the point of wanting to end their lives.
Yeah. Yes. And our experience, for example, LGBTQ experience of a closet is again, you have a bodily experience of a closet which is in high intensity.
Yeah,
okay?
family, society, culture, American society, no artists,
Yeah.
nothing obscure, nothing underground, you know, nothing, everything mainstream, everything in your face, everything fluffy, you know, bullshit, you know, bullshit, you know, nonstop. And you know it where you're from as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we're
So
highly
this is what
influenced
I'm
by
saying.
each other, right?
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. And also, I know the experience, so we can relate in the bodily experience of a closet.
Authenticity
Okay?
is something that we lacked from other people. They were bullshitting us all the time.
But dealing with the closet usually brings authenticity within yourself, and this is really what matters, not other people.
That's what's most important. It's within yourself, to find it within yourself.
Exactly. And also we have an embodiment, LGBTQ have an embodiment of pride, of authenticity, of winning battles, to be free, to be who we are. And again, you know this experience. Okay, so our bodily experiences are very, very similar in this topic of ours. Okay, and we can relate because the intensity of the bodily experience is similar.
So strong. And it's similar, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I can also, for example, take you through a bodily experience. In order to put you in my shoes, I can take you through a bodily experience of gender, for example. I can use exercises to take you through the bodily experience of gender, of queer gender. Okay? Or shame of your sexuality. Okay? I can take you, and again, you know, it all has to do with intensity, or it has a lot to do with intensity. Okay, because all LGBTQ people have in very high intensity embodiment of the closet, embodiment of gender, embodiment of shame, of sexual shame, of oppression, cultural and sexual oppression.
And general disapproval.
And yeah.
From society.
Yes, societal exclusion. So we have it in very high intensities, and when we want to put other people in our shoes, we take them through an experience that might not be in very high intensity, but it will give you an example for how we feel in the body as queer people in this world, within and in this world. So this is what's beautiful about embodiment. I can play with the roles or with the positions to take it from the universal to the personal, from the personal to the universal, or to the subcultural. We can play in this field of positions in order to understand, to relate to the other person. And since the body experience is so strong and so innate in us, we just have to learn how to listen, okay? Then the understanding is very, very deep. When you understand me not only through my words, but with your whole body experience, then you understand me more deeply than just words, because we use all the languages, all the experience to explain and to make the bridges.
Yeah. I had a question for you.
Yeah.
So if we break down the word queer, what does it mean?
Wow. This is a conversation which is very complex.
It's just one word, just one word.
It's a very not just one word. I will tell you how I see queer.
Okay.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. It is debatable, even within the community, what queer means. Okay. So queer started as a very harsh word to describe gay and trans people. Queer and queer, originally queer is everything that is outside the norm, that is not cooperating with the society norm.
So I'd be
this
queer.
Is queer.
I'm queer.
In this definition, yes. by this definition, yes. Everything that is out of the norm is queer.
I had a closet. I'm queer. What's next?
Whatever. What's next?
I'll be crocheting very soon.
To crochet is wonderful. So that was the original meaning of queer. Now the queer community reclaimed. We did what's called reclaiming of the name. Okay, and we started
of the word.
This word, and we start to use it in wider and wider ranges to describe us. Okay, so mostly queer will describe the gender,
Gender fluidity.
Gender fluidity, everything that has to do with gender and gender fluidity and gender identity, which is not in the norm, is queer. Okay, and in my eyes, only in my eyes, since our sexual orientation has to begin with to do with gender, then all LGBTQ is queer. In my eyes, we should take all the other letters down and keep the queer. But again, we take under consideration that some folks from the LGBTQ community are very normative people, and they do not look at the experience of queerness, of the fluidity of things. But and I take queer and like my perception of queer, which is similar to other queer folks, is that queer is a perception of reality, in which everything is a spectrum. Okay, so queerness comes and says this world is the concept of binary, of black and white, up and down, hot and cold, here and there, or the opposites, the binary perception, female and male, men and women. All of these are a very confusing, almost illusion that things are either this or this, because bottom line, everything is a spectrum. There is not hot and cold. There is hot and cold in feeling, okay, but there is no temperature in which it becomes hot and under it is cold, right? There is no
There's
distance.
a range.
There's a range. Everything is a range. It's not either this or that. And when it comes to queerness, we talk mainly about gender. It's not either female or male, or as society likes to put it, men and women. Okay, it's a little different, but we won't go into it. Male and female. It's not either male or female, but male and female is a spectrum. And I can be anywhere on the spectrum. I can be fluid. I can choose where to be within the spectrum. Now, some people are more queer when it comes to their gender identity. I am pretty queer. I'm a queer femme. I relate to. I'm a queer femme, which means that I carry a lot of genders within myself. I experience a bodily experience of a lot of genders. Some I can be in all the parts of very, very masculine, and some sorts of other masculines, and very, very feminine in other ways of femininity. And I can combine them two. Okay, I identify as a woman, but I had a lot of other queer experiences. I used to be very boyish. I used to be a lot more boyish. I used to look this or that. I used to identify as this or that. Okay, now I identify. So I choose. My queerness is pretty. So this is queerness. This is queerness, and a lot of people are identifying outside the norm of the masculine and feminine, or men and women. Okay, they say we are somewhere in the middle. Sometimes it's both, sometimes it's none, sometimes it's this, sometimes it's this. So this is queerness. In general, very much in general. And I take it one step forward. Queerness to me, since it is a perception of the spectrum, then it can apply to everything that we do and everything that we are. Okay, for example, everything that is playing with the borders of the norm. Everything that says no, the norm is somewhere in the middle. For example, let's take monogamy, for example, okay? So monogamy says there is either monogamy or non-monogamy, okay? And we say, no, monogamy is like, it's something at the end of the scale, and whatever it is that is at the other end of the scale, and there's a lot of ways of having relationships. Okay, so it's a queer perception of how to live our life. And queerness is, to me, is freedom to be who I am. Eventually, queerness is freedom to be who I am. And this is why I take it to embodiment, because again, embodiment, when I work with as many layers of myself, that's queerness. I am free to choose which layers to express and to listen to. I am free to be in touch with all the voices that sit in my body or within myself. Therapy in general. Okay, you want to be in contact with as many voices, as many identities of who we are.
Interesting. I wanted to, just for the audience who's watching, who's still with us now, I would say, how would we, because, please, I would say that, to me, it sounds like categories. It sounds like categories for this and that, because to me, people are just people, you know? People are just people, and what they like is what they like, you know?
Yeah, but then again, you do have your prejudices. For example.
But that's the problem of the people who are projecting it onto the other people and hurting them. That's harm. That's harmful for the society.
Eventually it is our problem. Okay.
It becomes our problem.
It becomes
we have to take it on.
Our problem. It is my problem. It is my problem if society treats me as a sinner. It is of course society's problem, but it becomes my problem because I experienced this experience of this world, of being outcasted. Okay, we're not like, blaming the other one and doing nothing about it. We want to work with how it affects us.
Yeah. I mean, I would say it's not your fault, but it's their projection that becomes your problem, and then it's how to deal with that. And I think that's
It's not only their projection. Even if I was, for example, my outcoming of the closet process was pretty easy. Okay, it didn't make me less. The fact that my circles accepted me more didn't make me less gay. Okay. The fact that I don't have a problem with it didn't make it less of a lesbian bodily experience of this world. Okay, it's not only the problem. My inner identity as a lesbian or as a queer woman or as a queer whatever, once a while, it's an inner experience. It's not only a social experience.
Right.
It's an inner experience, especially when it comes to do with genders. A gender identity is both first and foremost inner experience, and then how society treats it, reflects it back.
Yes, yeah.
Okay?
But basically it's just sexuality, isn't it? I mean, everyone has some sort of sexuality, whether they're asexual or polyamorous. They have some kind of sexuality. Right?
It's queerness or LGBTQ experience has both with sexuality and with other. For example, there can be straight people who are queer. Okay, it's not only about sexual orientation or sexual attraction. Okay?
But what would that mean?
People who have the perception of queerness.
But okay, so what would I be if I had to put a label on myself? What would I be? Gender fluid? Would I be?
It's up to you.
But I don't want to be anything. I mean, okay. I want to be Jewish, obviously, because that helps and that opens doors.
Okay.
I want to be me, as much as I can. I want to play music. I want to make music. I want to make films. I want to direct. I want to be an artist. So for me, artist embodiment is the thing. But my sexuality is so private that like I don't parade it around. So when people see queer and LG and everything like this, and especially in Poland, which I'm not for. I'm not for this in Poland. I don't think the anti-LGBTQ zones is the way to go. But I'm sure maybe they just want people to tone it down a little bit or whatever, right?
Let's not go into the discussion of this, because
Okay.
it's really really another kind of discussion, and we can talk about it for hours, and it goes in a lot of directions. I'm not here for propaganda. I'm here for I am here, but I will not talk about the issue of LGBTQ propaganda. I'm not here for that.
Good. And then the anti-LGBTQ propaganda also going on in certain countries like Poland, for example.
Of course, of course.
So it's a war. It's a war. It's definitely a war.
I always say that I am here to make peace.
Good. That's
Okay.
right. Yeah.
Again, a lot. This is what a lot of LGBTQ embodiment deals with the aspects of social change and oppression and hatred and okay. I am dealing more in the healing aspects of queerness. Okay, and of course, again, our war with the outside, with society, this never-ending war, sits in our body, and I want to make peace, because eventually, again, the war, the experience of being against something sits in the body, or protecting myself from other people who are against me sits in the body. Okay. A lot of people deal with the social aspects of LGBTQ community, with the social aspects of it, with this war, with the society. I deal with inner peace, with how this war affects the individual, how the individual can deal with it in their lives, and making war with the inner voices that deal with our situation in society. And it's definitely a war, but I see peace. Wherever I go, I see peace. I see peace. There is war. Let's try to make peace inside, within, so we can, again, we want to self-resource. And self-resourcing as LGBTQ people is different than for others in some aspects.
What's the difference between? Wonderful. I'm so glad that you explained that fully. It's very excellent. Wonderful. The difference between I have a couple different ones that came into my mind. Self-resilience, which is something that we all have as humans.
To some extent.
To some extent. Some people don't know they have it, and they give up on themselves and they die. That happens too. Then there's the self-sufficiency and self-reliance, which is something that I'm thinking about for myself as to what it was for me to become. And you said self-reliant. You said self-resounding. Resource. Right. Okay. So can you explain a little bit to the audience?
Yes,
what does this mean? Yes, exactly.
Self-resource means that I have the tools to take care of myself.
Which are, for example?
And any tool that I want to do to take care of myself, I want to use it. This is self-resource. For example, my self-resource is movement, listening, working with my body. I love movement. That's a good self-resource tool. I have a network of friends who are therapists who help me, and I help them. So whenever I need to So when I seek help, that's also self-resource. I have help seeking within me. I do a lot of altar things. I go to nature. Okay, I have a
You
practice.
give your body what it needs.
I have
Sorry.
in other words, I have a practice of self-resourcing, and I give my body what it needs, however it needs in this moment. My body really needs to express, so I give it expression a lot. Your self-resourcing is music, for example, I imagine.
One of them.
One of them, yeah. So this is self-resourcing. And as much as we self-resource, as much as we know and do it, how to take care of ourselves, then we have more resilience, because self-resourcing is healing. It is healing, right? It is healing. It's calming the nervous system. It's making us a safe space. So in fact, when we say come home to your body, then it's self-resourcing. Your body becomes your self-resourcing. Walking with and through the body. Okay?
Thank you. So is there anything else that you would like to tell our lovely, wonderful audience today?
Let's talk about sexuality a little bit.
Okay.
So Queerbodiment deals with all the bodily experience of LGBTQ people, okay? And from my experience of being a lesbian or being queer and dealing and living my life through my body experience, I find it that my sexuality is a very big part of my embodiment. It is the embodiment of my erotic sides. Okay? Now, everybody's got an embodiment of their erotic sides, and sexuality is a topic in sexuality is an embodiment thing. We all have human sexuality. Okay? That is a very much a taboo, that is a source of a lot of shame and a lot of blame and a lot of oppression and a lot of societal roles, and okay, and our sexuality speaks us. Our sexuality is embodiment. In fact, it's very bodily. It's a very bodily experience, bodily energetic experience, and it speaks us. Our trauma sits there, who we are sits there, how much authenticity we have, our stress in this world, what we do, everything. Our personality sits and talks through our sexuality. My sexuality is me. And since I have a queer sexuality, then I have a different bodily experience of my sexuality. I have a lesbian sexuality, I have queer sexuality, I have woman's sexuality. Well, I have, and also I have my masculine gender's sexuality. So my sexuality is also queer. It's very, very fluid. And I find it that being queer gives me an advantage to experience sexual bodily experiences which other people who are not queer cannot experience. So I want to heal my and then I find the healing aspects of my queer sexuality. I can experience some things that are very much healing, and straight people do not share them, or not queer people do not share them, and I want to use them in my benefit.
Yeah, for your benefit. It's a good thing. Now let's talk about my sexuality.
We can do that.
No, I don't want to.
If you want.
I mean, okay,
Yeah.
I love women. I mean, that's just, you know.
I love women too.
You love women too. That we share something in common.
Yes, we have the same bodily experience of being attracted to a woman. Same and different, because I am a woman attracted to a woman, or I am a femme attracted to a woman.
What is a femme?
Okay?
We need, yeah.
By the way, I will give you like an example, a very interesting, the complexity of universal and personal and subcultural. For example, a trans woman which has a bodily experience of a woman, although a different body of a woman, biological body, okay, her bodily energetical experience can be similar to mine if she's attracted to women, can be more similar to mine than your experience of being attracted to a woman. Because she identifies as a woman. So my attraction to a woman is one of another woman. Okay?
That's interesting. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So could I be a lesbian if I wanted to be? I would have to change my gender. I would have to change my gender to a woman. I'd have to have a whole ordeal. It would cost a lot of money, and I'd have to change everything, take hormones, and still do the same thing I'd be doing. Obviously, it's a ridiculous example. It's a ridiculous example, but
if you identified as a woman inside, identified yourself as a woman or a non-binary, something that is not a straight male, masculine man that you are, okay, then you would have the body experience of a lesbian. A woman who is attracted to women. Because there's a lot of bisexuals and pansexuals and a lot of folks attracted to women. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, physiologically, obviously I could, be with anybody, any gender, space alien, whatever you can think of, physiologically speaking. But attraction-wise, like for me, like what makes my heart go pumping is like, when I see a woman who's just like
beautiful,
not just beautiful, but also just like, when they're shining and just glowing, just radiance, the radiance
of women. Yeah.
I mean, men can be radiant as well, and that's when I would say, wow, that's a beautiful man. Wow, that's a beautiful, good looking. But I wouldn't want to, put things in my, his things in here or there. It doesn't get to that point. I'll say that's a human being. That's a gorgeous human being.
Beautiful. Yeah. Again, because Queerness says everything is a spectrum, then you have some attraction to men, which is not sexual.
A non-sexual platonic love, yeah.
Might be sexual. Maybe you will explore it someday.
I don't want to.
So don't. But if you will, then feel free. So that's the thing. I want to explore whatever I want to explore whenever I feel like it.
I lived in Berlin, come on. I had my chances, I think I kissed a man on the lips like this.
Beautiful. Okay. Beautiful.
Like a grandma,
So that's your experience. So you're like
that was the extent of my gay experience.
You're like 1% attracted to men. It's all a spectrum. It is all a spectrum. In fact, we say they're really not really straight people.
Nobody's 100% straight, right?
No.
Can't be.
Let's say no. Theoretically speaking, no one is 100%. Theoretically speaking, everyone is queer.
Because once you, if you're masturbating, if anybody's doing that sort of thing, that's in itself a gay experience, is it not?
Interesting point. It's an interesting point. Self-pleasuring as queer. I will take
self-pleasuring. And on that note, I think we had an amazing conversation today, Ayelet.
Ayelet. Yes, we did. So let's talk about before we finish.
Yeah.
Before we finish, let's talk a little bit about what's coming up. Okay, so
sure. And anything you want to promote as well.
Thank you so much. I will do that because really important stuff are coming.
Important stuff, not porn stuff.
Not
if anybody's listening incorrectly, important stuff.
Also potent, very potent stuff.
Porny stuff.
Yeah. In today's the 10th, right? In 4 days.
10/10.
in 4 days, starts the biggest online event in the world. It's called the Embodiment Conference. The Embodiment Conference, which is a huge, huge project to take all the fields, all the therapeutical fields that work with the body, that do body work, and bring them together under one umbrella, which looks like it's 10 days conference. It's the biggest online conference in the world with more than 300,000 registered, 300,000 registered. Okay.
For the course, is it a course or
it's a whole conference? It's a 10-day conference, 10 days conference. There's going to be sessions all day. It is divided to different channels. So you can go to any channel that interests you more in the fields of embodiment. And there's going to be sessions all day. This conference has 1,000 sessions, 1,000 presenters giving sessions through 10 days. And it's really, really a huge event. It's making a whole buzz in the embodiment community and all around 300,000 participants. It is free to watch all the sessions are free to watch on the day of their airing. You can also buy some packages if you are interested in bodywork. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So
it's about embodiment. It's a whole conference about embodiment, which is really amazing and so recommended to watch all of them or some of them, whichever you want. You can choose. You can register and choose.
That's great.
I'm going to give and I am going to give 2 sessions there. One of them is in a week on the 17th, 10 a.m. Central European time. It's going to be a panel about LGBTQ sexuality with other wonderful, wonderful presenters. We're all going to talk about the importance and the uniqueness and the healing of LGBTQ embodied sexuality. And I'm going to give another session, which is a workshop, like an introductory workshop for Queerbodiment with a colleague of mine called Moran Bodner, which is also Israeli. So if you are interested in experience what the hell a Queerbodiment is, then this is the workshop for you. It's a very fun and light and interesting workshop. So I'm going to give it, and that's going to be on the 25th of October at 11 a.m. Central European time. The other one is 10 p.m. I think. I'm sorry.
Great. And that's in Central CET, Central
CET. And what we are doing these days until we get there is we are trying to bring the LGBTQ issue to the forefront of the community. My job or my vision is to bring embodiment to the LGBT community, but also the LGBTQ issue to the embodiment community. There are not enough therapists that know how to deal with our unique embodiment. And they should. There is no representation for LGBTQ people when it comes to the embodiment world, not a lot, and we are trying to bring the whole issue to the forefront. We are contacting all the LGBTQ presenters, and we think this is very, very important to have a representation that people from the community will know that their body can also be their home. And there are people that can give them a safe space. People from within the community who do embodiment and do embodiment for queer people, and they can feel safe. And bring this present of working with and through the body also to the LGBT community. So it's coming right up ahead. Yeah. And a very, very important event, And I will give during November and December, I will give another series, 2 series of workshops about LGBTQ sexuality and Queerbodiment with 2 colleagues of mine, also Israelis. Some of them will be in English, all of them will be in Zoom because we are in second lockdown. and I don't see us coming out of it in the near future. And so everything will be on Zoom. Some will be in English. So for everybody interested, straight or queer. Thank you so much, Todd. And thank you so much for this opportunity to bring this topic.
Definitely. I wanted to give you the opportunity to speak your mind, your piece, and to let everyone know what it is that you do, and about the Embodiment Conference, which is not just about LGBTQ. That's just a small portion of it. But
that's a small portion.
Right, that's just a minor portion. That's Ayelet's portion.
Yeah.
And there are so many different presenters. It's not just about LGBTQ.
It's definitely not. Again, we have.
That should be very clear as well. Yeah.
Definitely, that there are about, I think, around 15 presenters who do LGBTQ embodiment, different things about LGBTQ embodiment. All the rest of the conference is for everybody, all humankind.
How many presenters have we got?
1,000 presenters.
Wow.
1,000 presenters, 1,000 sessions.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be, again, it's free to watch on the day of the airing. So basically the whole world, really the whole world, whoever's got a computer and internet connection can take part of this amazing, amazing major event. So we will give the audience, we will give them links to the Embodiment Conference and to my Facebook page and to maybe my sessions in the Embodiment Conference, and you will have all the information. Come to the conference, choose whichever session you want and come to the conference. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Thank you. And when we say come to the conference, we mean on Zoom.
Online on Zoom.
From the comfort of your home.
Definitely.
See how we wrapped everything around like that? A nice circle?
We did. That was so beautiful. Thank you so much, Todd.
Thank you.
I love you very, very much.
I love you too. I love you. And happy Shabbat Shalom. Happy New Year. Yom Kippur just passed. Simchat Torah is probably the new one, right? That just passed.
Past Sukkot already.
Past that. Everything. The Sukkot, the building the thing, that's another time. Who knows? But who cares? Hopefully we do. Hopefully all of us care enough.
All of us care. Oh, we care
we
so
all
much.
Care. Right.
We care so much.
We care about other things. There's other things that are higher on the list for us because we have our.
Everyone's got them. Everybody's got them. We all got our job in this world.
Different grocery list. Definitely.
Definitely. And hopefully as colorful as possible.
As colorful as possible, or as uncolorful as you want it to be, is also an option.
Definitely.
I think we've covered most of the bases.
As uncolorful as possible. Yeah, we did. I think we have.
Good. So I want to thank you again. I love you so much.
Thank you.
Have a great day and talk to you soon, Ayelet. Thank you for watching the show.
Thank you very much for coming, everyone.
See you.
Bye. Thank you for hosting.
Oh, thank you.
Bye.
Oh.